King Kwame says, what will you do if a company has to be compliant to RA5 vulnerability scanning but don't have any scanning tools? It really depends on the situation. Let's take a small versus a large and medium size organization. Let's say you have a small organization. I've dealt with this before where I'm working with a very small, like literally I have like 5 systems and they're all standalone systems. The security control for RA5 states that you're supposed to do vulnerability scanning. You have to do vulnerability scanning. You're supposed to have scanning frequency in place, but that's determined by a policy, things like that. My very first question is, does the organization have a policy? Whether they're small or large, they should have a policy that determines how they're going to scan. So if they don't have a policy for scanning, that's another violation of another control. Like they're not doing that security control. That would be something I would be a little bit concerned about. This is RA5 that Kwame is talking about. So this security control, very briefly, is saying the organization scans for vulnerabilities on information systems. They employ vulnerability scanning tools. King Kwame is saying these guys are not doing vulnerability scanning. They don't have the tools, right? So right there, they're already violating it. So RA5, it comes with a whole list of things. So my first question now is going to be, does the organization have a policy for this? Because if they don't, then that's another issue. That would be my first question. If it's a small organization, my next question is, can you guys do a scan right now? Can we purchase one? They say yes. Okay, when can you do that? Because it's not going to be that expensive for you. You only have 5 systems. So number one, I'm going to tell them, listen, you guys need a policy in place. Another thing is, you guys, as a small organization, you guys should be able to get this pretty fast and do scanning. When can you get that tool? If they tell me, well, we can get it probably in 2-3 months, to give me some time, I'd say, hey, do a plan of action and milestone. A plan of action and milestone is where you're going to say, okay, they're going to put in writing, here's why we don't have one. Here's a justification of we don't have one. Here's when we're going to get one. Here are the points of contact who are going to be responsible for that. And here's the tool we're about to get. We should get it in 2 to 3 months. Let's put a specific time on there. And then as you go through, you're going to have milestones. Number 1, check the acquisition, see what solutions we can use. Number 2, in 2 months from now, purchase the tool. Number 3, implement the tool. If it's a larger organization, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's really the same process. A large organization should really know better. And it's much more critical for a large organization to have constant scanning. When I say large organization, I mean they have like 100 systems. We're talking about medium to large size. If they have 100 systems and they have 150 employees, you really have to do some scanning. Like, it's critical to do scanning in a large environment because you can have all kinds of stuff happening. The more complex it is, the more threat vectors, the more surfaces that they have that can be attacked. So it's imperative that they get a scanning tool. And if their policy said nothing about scanning, I'd tell them, like, listen, guys, like, we have to do a policy very soon. Your security posture is not good if you not only have no scanning, because you can't see what's going on. Especially large organization, they should have the money to do it. Then it's just a matter of telling them how critical it is. Small organizations, it's going to be a little bit more for them to go do it because they probably don't know where the money is. They don't know how to get it and stuff. But it's not as crucial because they have like 5 systems or whatever, and they're not connected to the internet.